Got one that can see.
Hey guys, hope everyone's doing all right this morning. I came across this and I definitely got to share it. Keith at Many Fish touched on it, so if you're not subbed to him, I'll leave his link in the description. But Israel, our good friends over there, they have created an artificial intelligence weapon that can be deployed to kill mass amounts of, like they'll say, terrorists. And you're not going to believe what they're calling it. They're calling it the gospel. Okay, so we have the gospel of Jesus Christ that saves, and then you got the gospel of lavender, this Hamas Israel. It's actually supposedly targeted for Hamas, but it's a weapon system. And I'm going to read a little bit of this article, and then I'll leave the link. But talk about blasphemy. Like I said, a weapon system created for murder, you call it the gospel. It's like everything's inverted and turned upside down. But I'm going to read this a little bit. This is wild. In November 2023, 972 magazine and Local Call published a joint report on Israel's Defense Force, IDF, targeting operations, labeling them a mass assassination factory. It correctly stated that the IDF was using gospel, a system characterized as relying upon artificial intelligence, AI. The report alleged that the system generates, among other things, automatic recommendations for attacking private residents where persons suspected of being Hamas or Islamic Jihad operatives live. Israel then carries out large-scale assassination operations through heavy shelling of these residential homes. Other media sources, such as The Guardian, quickly picked up the story, sparking a firestorm of condemnation. In April, the focus of attention shifted to the IDF's use of lavender, again based on a 972 report that was echoed in other media, including The Guardian. Lavender was described as identifying Hamas and Islamic Jihad operators, with 972 sources claiming that its influence on the military's operations was such that they essentially treated the outputs of the AI machine as if it were a human decision. So these men are so deceived. They believe that the artificial intelligence is making the decision who to kill, and it's not a human decision. See, I think that, like Keith was saying, I think only very few at the very top actually understand that this is fallen angels making the decision. It's not an artificial intelligence. It's definitely, like it says in Ephesians 6:12, our battle's not flesh and blood, but principalities and rulers in high places. These high places are where these decisions are coming from, in my opinion. But anyway, the report further charged that the Army gave some sweeping approval for officers to adopt Lavender's kill list. So they're creating kill lists, and they're letting robots, drones, shells, whatever, execute these executions, but with no requirement to thoroughly check why the machine made those choices or to examine the raw intelligence data on which they were based. Reportedly, human personnel often served only as a rubber stamp for the machine's decisions, sometimes approving them in 20 seconds. The 972 local call accounts take a face value are exceptionally troubling, to say the least. But anyway, they essentially depict a mechanized AI targeting machine that is subject in negligible verification. I'm only going to read just a little bit more of this, and I'll leave the link. But many in the international law community have weighed in. One report asserts that strikes against the gospel targets are often authorized without further oversight. Other commentary suggested that the supervision protocol before targeting suspected militants involving confirming the AI selected targets, gender. Let me read that again. Okay. involves confirming the AI selected target's gender with the assumption that female targets are erroneous and male targets are appropriate. Some have opinion that AI is increasing the tempo of operations and expanding the pool of potential targets, making a target verification and other precautionary obligations much harder to fulfill, increasing the risk that civilians will be misidentified and mistakenly targeted, yet other legal commentators vigorously defend the system. But these kill lists that it's creating, and they say it's only for the actual terrorist. But once these, Noahide laws and all of that gets implemented, who do you think the terrorists are going to be? We know back in, I think it was 2012 or 13, when Homeland Security, they determined that people that were like constitutionalists, conservative, Christians were terrorists. So we've already been labeled terrorists. But anyway, I just wanted to share this, guys. This is wild. Israel's assassination machine, and they named it the gospel. Give me a break, guys. Anyway, you guys share this, and things are getting wild with this AI and all that. It's just, wow. Kind of speechless, really. I mean, it's like, what do you say? I mean, we're living it. It's happening right in front of our eyes. But anyway, love you guys. Hope y'all have a good one later on.